and that being done from an empathic, compassionate spirit, which of course properly discerns and properly ascertains the necessary procedures for each particular case. Again, I'm here just speaking in a very general way. Each of us need to know what to do in each particular situation. But so some words about unaddressed abuse of different types, which I personally, of course, believe also that's the case in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. That's an important one. Next one. Deep cognitive rigidity and various types of fundamentalism. This is somehow similar to the second one, but there are some slight variations. So let me unfold briefly. So, for example, for me, at least in this connection, cognitive rigidity or fundamentalism even has to do with what sometimes I like to call overdose of certainty. Overdose of certainty. Like you have too much certainty. You are too sure about everything. You know everything, how to reply to every question. We have perfect answers to everything. Always we are not able to say I don't know. We are not willing to acknowledge that we don't know many things. We are not even to acknowledge that the things that we don't know are more than the things that we know. Or we have this idea like we should show ourselves as perfect and all-knowing. If you are a representative, a guru, a sannyasi, or whatever, a devotee to the world, how you have to show. And again, this overdose of certainty is another way of saying, actually, we have a deep inability to deal with uncertainty, to deal with paradox, to deal with mystery, darkness, unknowing, all these realms that lie outside of the comfort zone. And we need to embrace those layers as well. Our tradition points to that, actually. Our tradition is very dynamic. So we need to represent it, as we mentioned, living school of living prophets. So we need to represent it accordingly. But nowadays, again, many of these things have become formulaic, mechanistic, and boring. So we need to have more, not only critical thinking, but again, willingness to integrate our shadow if we want to continue talking in terms of the last class. Feeling okay while coexisting with uncertainty, and not feeling the need to have always the right answers to everything. Because of course we have a very refined, deep, revealed knowledge, but that doesn't mean that we have full realization of that we can learn from any other place and so on. Or sometimes, again, this cognitive rigidity or fundamentalism can express itself in the form of authorities imposing a set of dogmas that, if they are not followed, they create some form of fear or terror in the so-called heretics. This is the way of doing. If not, you are an aparati. If you do that, you are out of the loop, if you will, of the grace loop. So it's an overdose of order. Everything has to be order and in place. When you have too much order and do not allow some chaos to balance the equation, you get closer and closer to a totalitarian regime, basically. So yes, of course, we may say, but we Gaudiyas do not have, as Christians did, crusades, our Inquisition per se. Yeah, we don't have those till now per se, but we may have our own version of them.